Hello, welcome to Nezzo's Bad Shop. I am Nezzo, your host, and you are looking at a Tamiya TT-01 Type E. Something a little different, but not entirely different, essentially. I've done a lot of unboxings of Tamiya cars and a couple other videos and things like that, but nothing like the drift stuff I've done in terms of the digests or other stuff like that, but I'm going to start doing it here or there. And this is the TT-01 Type E that includes the Subaru Impreza Mexico 2004 body set. There's many different body sets you can get for these, or with these kits, I should say. And I chose the Subaru because I used to have an Impreza from 2004, but it was an Outback Sport. It was a wagon. It wasn't a sedan. So I chose this because us at the Strictly Sideways Club, us drifters, it's getting nice outside, as you can see. There's some sunlight out there. And with summer coming, last year we were messing around with some parking lot fun. Sort of spec racing. Racing in a sense, not entirely racing, we're just goofing around. Chalked a track down and we're just having some fun. So this year we decided a bunch of us would get actual sort of kit level, spec level cars, kits and stuff, and build them up and then just drive them as they are right from the box and beat them up, so to say, and not have to worry or spend a ton of money on upgrades up because we're just messing around. Yeah, the amount of unboxings I've done of Tamiyas over the last several years, surprisingly, I've only done one other TT-01 kit, which I think was a Han truck, and a TT-02, which might have been the Alfa Romeo, if I remember correctly, an Alfa Romeo 155 V6 Ti touring car body set. So, if you compare those unboxings to this one's, first thing you'll notice is a difference over here. We do get a motor with this kit, Torque Tune, hello, Torque Tune motor with this, but there's a sticker missing here because in the past there was usually a speed control thrown in from the local distributor of the Tamiyas, but I think some things have changed because I learned that the Tamiya ESCs that were being added, that changed to Hobby Wing, and then now there's none. So now you don't get a speed control, but in some of the kits there still is speed controls bundled with them, but I think going forward there won't be, so that's a thing. Anyways, having said that, yeah, you do get a body set, the decals with it, stickers, and wheels and tires, which is really nice. And the bonus with including a motor, you only need a speed control, a servo, and receiver and radio set. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to add a motor, but yeah, you do require the rest of the radio set. So we're just going to use the kit motors. It's stock 540, what they call it, Mbachi there, but it's a silver can 27 turn motor. So, but the torque tuned is nice. It'll give you a little bit of extra oomph off the line. Nice. Now Tamiya has nice box art, so we can look around the box. That's what the chassis looks like. Okay. So TT-01 has motor here, battery here. TT-02 is motor here, battery here, and that's the motor, speed control, servo, and then receiver. So pretty straightforward. All plastic construction, friction shocks, no oil in them, but you can upgrade it. This is pretty much the basic spec car. The E that you see over there, that denounce, or does it say, denounce the enhanced performance version of the TT-01. It's pretty much just a slightly refined version. Doesn't include bearings or anything like that, but there are certain other versions, type versions, that give you bearings and other upgrades. There's an R, there's an S, I think, there's a R something else, some other spec. TT-02, they have TT-02R, TT-02, I think E and S and all that stuff, like different levels. And the most recent one I heard for TT-02 is TT-02 SRX, which gives you quite a lot of upgrades out of the box, but no body. And that one's for racing only. But if you really wanted to take this into the spec class for racing, you could, because this car can be used in official Tamiya races. And what that means is, here's one I did way back in 1999. Oh, look at the ring light there. 1999, May 16th, which is actually, I'm actually filming today, May 16th. This is funny. So, was this like 20, was it like 23 years ago almost? Ish. I did this race, and this was at John's Photo Hobby in Toronto. Yeah, so, and I ended up 7th in the A main for GT2, which is the stock class. So back then I ran a TL-01, not a TT-01, because these didn't exist in 99, but I ran a TL-01 and I had a couple of upgrades on it, I remember, something like that. My dad drove me down, and I actually did quite well through the qualifiers and ended up in the A main. And out of 8 people, I ended up 7th because I ended up getting a damaged drive shaft on the first corner first lap in the rear end, right rear of the car, and I was 3-wheel drive for the whole race, but the guy who hit me ended up 8th. So, fun story. But that's what that means. That can be used in Tamiya official races, is these Tamiya Championship Series, the TCS races. And those they stopped for a while, I heard, in Ontario, Toronto area for a while, but they're back, and they have been back for a while. I think they were being held at the Phoenix Raceway in Vaughan, and there were other races and other things. There's other touring car racing happening around Ontario, I know. With the there's a race out in Welland there, and I forget the name of it. The CONRC, Canadian On-Road Nationals. Yes, there's that too. So there's a bunch of racing that happens, and a bunch of different classes. But I can't remember if the Canadian On-Road Nationals ever did Tamiya spec anything. It was more just generalized classes. But the TCS racing has come back. So if you did want to enter it, this is a good candidate for the stock class, or mod it up for the GT1 or whatever. But I know there's several different things anyways available now. I'm gonna have to go do more research on that, but we'll move on. And so these are just Tamiya items you can upgrade your TT-01 with. The item 54025, didn't realize, but in my pack of spare parts I had this, and look, Type E ball bearing set. So Type E, perfect. And the part number is still the same, 54025. 54025. So that will get installed. This will just prolong, take some stress off the drivetrain and the motor, and car will roll better. And yeah, the battery will last a little longer because it doesn't have to do the bushings that are included in this basic bushing style bearing, where it's not a ball bearing, it's just a brass bushing. So that's off to the side, and the bottom doesn't have anything on it, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. TT-01 over there, and beautiful body set. Well, let's go ahead and crack this open. And this is a whole wrapped sealage versus just a little seal on one part opening. And this box usually opens upwards, straight up and down. So let me get the wrapping out of here with one hand. Look at that, one shot. I'm that good. Okay, so I can't palm this. I don't have Michael Jordan or LeBron level, or even Kobe. I cannot. So anyways, let me just park this over here and open the box for you. Oh yes, come on. We'll open the box and we'll take a look inside. And for y'all that are big Tamiya heads, let me just yes, glorious Tamiya smell. Die-hard Tamiya fans will know what I'm talking about. I've been a die-hard Tamiya guy since I discovered RC cars way back in the day. The first car ever was a Traxxas Hawk 2, but the second RC car I ever owned was my real love that I discovered was touring cars. It wasn't a Tamiya, though, that I first got touring car, I don't think. I think it was a Kyosho. Then I got a Tamiya, and then an HPI, but the Tamiya was specifically... was a bonus. My dad was like, oh, you can do the club racing at the local track I used to go to, which was RC Champ Raceway in Scarborough, Ontario, and that turned into Toronto RC Raceway, and sadly it's no longer around. But I know a lot of those people are running at Phoenix RC Raceway in Vaughan, Ontario, so I'm going to check that out at some point. Now, I took one bag out and partially opened it while I was talking about that stuff. And, oh yeah, so that was, yeah, I think I said that. Dad was happy that I could do 2 race series, not only club nights at that RC Champ place, but Tamiya TCS races on other days. So it was kind of like it made sense for him to get a Tamiya car for me, aside from whatever other car I had at the time, because I could do many different types of racing all around the year. So, yes, now this is the glorious Subaru body. Oh yes, look at that. Tamiya quality, and you'll always know a Tamiya body because mold line 1 and mold line 2. And those go all the way across because Tamiyas are always 3-piece mold. Looks like a teeny bit of mark there, but no big deal. The paint will just go right on it. Otherwise, though, yeah, the modeling and the way they come out is usually really good. So Tamiya bodies always look the greatest. They're one of the top ever. And this one was done in 2004. It's the stamp there, or when it was created, this one. Awesome. So yeah, that's the Impreza WRX body. Love it. Now, looking at all the rest of the stuff. Oh, excuse me. One of my lights just said no. Turn back on. This seems to be a normal thing. Maybe y'all can start voting on how long it'll take before one of my ring lights or, you know, shooting lights shut off. That's not nice. Anyways, yes, looking in here, lots of glorious Tamiya high quality plastics. Let's just see. So, there's the wheels and there's the wheels. I was gonna say tires, but there's the wheels. Those will get stickers on it, like you see in the box art. Tamiya always looks great, so those are nice rally style wheel. Now, what did I take out already before we get ahead of ourselves? This is part of the body set. This is, yeah, the wing and stuff, and yeah, that'll end up on the body. So that's what that is. Nice. And this stuff in here. These are, yes, RC parts bags A, B, and C. So this disc separates the certain types of screws and stuff. I might as well just, excuse me, might as well just dump it out. And there's the gear differential. Okay, so gear diff front and rear. It's just basic gear, and you just put some basic grease in it. It's not oil filled. That's part of the servo saver. Definitely run this for the parking lot. You can get better ones, but at least just to get it going, just put this in and run it. It'll be fine. Yes, this is the motor, torque tuned. Yeah, look at that, torque tuned. So that'll be fun. Great success. Pins, body pins for the body, very important. And these are the, oh yeah, it's plastic bushing, sorry. There are some brass bushings, that's what the diffs run on, but it's plastic. So the plastic bushing, yeah, that's gonna create some, not a ton of stress, but it's gonna make the engine work harder and use more battery. So bearings is ideal. So basically when you build it, I don't put these in, I put these in. So yeah, great success. Okay. And yes, these parts bags A, B, and C, these denote certain screws and stuff. So if I flip it over, in the manual it'll reference certain bags for you to use certain bits from. So there's some diff spider gears and stuff, the springs for the shocks, the friction shocks, some certain screws and stuff. There's the pinion, the diff, the front diff probably, one of the diffs anyway, and some other screws, and you'll use those at certain steps. What's that? Tamiya grease, yes, good old Tamiya grease. That's probably what you'll use for the diff. Okay, so that's what that is. Those are important. Don't lose those. If you're going to empty them out into separate trays so you don't mix things. People tend to just fire them all into one tray and then they get mixed up. And there it is, the traditional Tamiya TT-01 chassis tub. I know I have a big spare box of Tamiya spares. I'm going to have to dig through it for another one I have. I gotta get that one going too. Oh, these stickers are pre-installed. Nice. On-off switch. I don't remember if that was a thing, but the NiCad 7.2 volt. That's how you know how old this design is. In the NiCad days. Okay, so yes, we are looking at gearbox covers, bulkheads, the rear plastic uprights, front uprights, the knuckles and stuff. Yep, all basic level, thick plastic, but the self-tapping screws you use, yeah, you can strip it pretty easy, so be careful when you build it, always. Don't use a power tool, and if you do, like something like this, like I love this thing, but see that locking clutch? I put it on like level 1 or 2, basically, or stop before I tighten it, but you can build this without stripping it, you just gotta be careful. So that's what that is. The wheel hexes are there. It looks like there's some extended hexes too. That's nice. I never noticed that before. That might be a refined thing. Since this design has been around so long, they might have added a couple things to the parts tree there, because 6 hexes, I only remember 4, so there's 6 there. Interesting. This is the diff out drives with the cups and the dog bones. So if you're going to do more thrashing, or if you're going to, I might even upgrade these too. I might tell the guys, hey, let's buy some CVDs, some universals for these cars so we don't blow these dog bones out all the time, because this is basically what broke on my TL-01 on that race that I ended up 7th out of 8. Got whacked in the rear and one of these just shattered. And I was surprised I could even keep the car moving. A 3-wheel drive and an unloading rear diff. But yeah, so we may upgrade those in the near future if we can find a good deal. Group buy or something. Yeah, so I was just thinking, I was just looking underneath that. So the rest of this here, front bumper, skid plate, there's the friction shock pieces, the control arms, body post, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, shock tops, you know. So there's a lot of bits in there, rear body post, so that's pretty important. There's no need to open that, but that's important. And the last bag of parts, the top deck of the chassis, battery tray, oh that is updated, yeah. Newer Tamiya logo on that, nice. Motor mount, front body post mounting, front bumper mount, the motor shield, which that thing is just a heat shield to me, and it just keeps the heat on the motor, so I don't really install that. So the motor can breathe. We're also thinking of putting little heat sinks on the motor as well, because they do get pretty toasty once we're baking them around on lipos, compared to like 10 to 12 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes on a NIM battery. So a lipo, we're pushing them half an hour or longer easily. So yeah, so there's the transmission cover as well, steering wipers and all that. Yep, just what I remember. Great success, so that's quite well. These go together pretty quick too, so an average build time is anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. If you've built a car before, if you haven't, it's upwards of more like 6 hours because you tend to take your time and stuff, spread it out. But yeah, ooh, there's the tires, yes, before I continue in that. Tamiya Racing, it says on it, but these are the standard grips. Oh, look at that, it even has a tire size on it now. Look at that, scale tire size. These didn't used to have it. What does that say? 270 30R19. Nice, that's awesome. They finally did scale stuff like that. Yeah, if these were the race tires, it would say M grip or S grip, but these are just standard, but these will be fine. So some guys got slicks, some guys got the radials. I'll huck it around on radials, why not? Fun, treaded boys. Yeah, so I don't remember what I was saying just before this, but I'll continue on. Oh, foam bumper, right? Yes, the foam bumper. I was thinking maybe it was something about the motor. Well, we were gonna put motor heatsink things on. So. Yes, and that's. Oh, this is the exploded view of the chassis parts list. I'm gonna keep that handy. We're gonna need that. It's good to have. That is the same thing in Japanese. And here is the body set. Yes, that's the instructions on how to do the body. Always wash it first and then trim it out, and then mask it if you're going to mask off colors. And it looks like I can get away with one straight color, because I think, well, I'm just going to spray it one color. Sometimes you get a two-tone, or they say, hey, spray the bottom of the body black to trim the, trim the bottom of the splitter or whatever. No, PS16 metallic blue. The hobby shop I got it from was all out of paint. Oh, I got this from Advanced Hobbies as well in Markham. Shout out. Yes, and yeah, one color. So they were out of metallic blue, so I went with dark metallic blue. And then, yeah, instructions on how to do the stickers and all that for the body, how to mount it. Tamiya instructions are legendary. They've always been pretty much the best in the game, as far as I'm concerned. There's the instruction manual, the good old TT-01 manual. I'll do a constructor digest on this because I never have, but I know this is a really popular car, so go through everything through the the manual. I read the word receiver there, and help you build it along. Oh, there's the hex, the optional hex. Maybe I'll run the wide hex in the rear. Nice. Okay, so that's that. How to work the wrist stock radio if you get one, or just the items required. Some other service information, and the decal set, aka the stickers. Tamiya's are always very nice. Oh yeah, oh yes, look at that. Yep, Tamiya's stickers have also been quite good as well over time. They've really never not been good, really. So yes, so I'll probably stick all that on because yeah, Subaru and everything. I don't care to see inside on the chassis, but it looks good. And there's the wheel, yes, wheel livery. Subaru Corona. Excellent. So, that's the TT-01 Subaru Mexico, or Subaru Impreza Mexico 2004 edition. TT-01 Type E. Essentially TT-01 Type E. But there's many available, many body sets available. Pricing varies. You can find them as low as $100 brand new, upwards of $300, which include body set, wheels, tires, and motor, speed control, and usually an LED set, like some extra stuff. deals you usually see average pricing I've found between 130 and 180 for kits without an ESC. Anything over like 180 usually has an ESC. If it still has it, it'll have one, but some don't. But anyways, yeah, there's lots available. Those prices are all in Canadian, by the way, because I am in Canada. Yeah. So yeah, the things we were gonna upgrade out of the box, maybe drive shafts and add some kind of heatsink fan assembly to the motor just to prolong the motor's life. And oh, bearings, ball bearings. Yes, ball bearings is a good idea. And other than that, yeah, I have a couple different Tamiya bodies I can easily pop onto this chassis to change things up. So if someone else has the same car or whatever, and we want to differentiate, then yeah, I got a bunch. So yes, that's that. Let me know if you've got a TT-01, what model you've got, or if you've had several. If you've built them or always got them used. I've had a mixture of new and used. So yes, so the first things I gotta do, glue the tires, glue the wheels to the tires. Where did I put the wheels and tires? Glue these to these so that you get optimal traction. And the wheels don't slip inside the tires. And wash the body, let it dry, and then cut it out. Actually, I cut it out first and then wash it. Yeah, that's usually easier. It says to wash it first, but just make sure you wash it. So either way, cut it out, wash it, whatever. But that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if you watched the whole thing in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, let me know. Do you have one? Have you had several? What other Tamiyas do you got? Are you a Tamiya diehard fan? Yeah, what other Tamiyas do you got? I'm going to try and feature Tamiya a little more, at least certain things. Random ones I get. It's just been drift heavy lately because I love drift. But I was always a big Tamiya guy before I got heavy into drift. So yes, it's always good to get a Tamiya and do things with it. Yes. Thank you for watching, and check back for new stuff soon. Got some things in the works, and yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.